there's a lot of distractions that can happen. I've heard them my whole life, but until you actually are a part of them, and like you don't really understand what it's like. But it's really just like when you get a part of like just like the things in life that aren't godly, like just anything you can name it, just something that you don't focus on Him anymore, and it just like takes away your time, and just takes away just everything that stands what a Christian should stand for. It can really like affect you a lot, and a lot of people can think, well, a lot of like people that just don't believe in church, they're like, well, I don't want to be a Christian because I'm not starting laughing. A lot of people are like, I don't want to be a follower of Christ because I want to just live a fun life, do what I want. But my personal experience of that is it just causes pain for you because it just changes you in a bad way. But anyways, the past like I don't know, I'd say the whole like 2019 I've been very, very distant from God, and I have spent very little time with Him until recently, like hardly at all, and it has really affected me a lot. But I finally it just hit me, and I'm like, yeah, I need Him, I really do, because stress is a horrible thing. Like it has messed me up. Like last month, really when it hit hard, when I realized I knew I needed Him back, and I know it's probably like the worst pain I felt was just stress, because when things pile up over time, there's like when you're in football, you can get hit by a Kingston running back or something like that, and it's gonna hurt. But like, there's nothing worse than hurting from just like your stomach hurting, your heart hurting, your head hurting, anything that just happens from just mentally exhausting things. But college stacked up because I stopped caring about it for a minute. I cared about it, but I just wasn't making it a priority. Church wasn't a priority. Just all these things just piled up, and I thought I could fight it on my own, but I couldn't. Like, it's just when things pile up, you can't fight it. So I got really low, and I actually this is partly from sedation migraine and overdosing on those. Not really overdosing, but taking them multiple times a week, but also stress had really affected it. I got a stomach ulcer right before the Colgate game, and it was really bad. That's around the time when I realized I really needed God again. But I stopped coming to church. I haven't been, if you'll notice, I haven't been here until last week in like a year. So that's one of the things. And I just thought, oh well, what's the point? Like, but I needed to be here. That was bad of me not. But what my point is no matter like what the situation is in your life, no matter how busy you are or how much stuff's going on or what your priorities are, if you don't keep God in priorities, you're doomed to be hurt inside later. It doesn't matter. It might be 2 years from then, 3 years, or 30 years, but eventually it's going to catch up and you're not going to be okay. You're just not. But recently, my mom, for my book report in Miss Garrison's class, she told me to read this right here. It was just random. She just told me to read it, and it gives a lot of things in there. It's a Christian book, but it's not like based off the Bible or anything. It's just like a story about a guy that he basically went through what I did, but not way worse than me. But I'm just gonna give you a synopsis. I don't want to spoil it because I might want to read this. I highly suggest it. Even Good Morning America said read this. So it's just a guy, and he works hard, and he makes a decision to stay with a company that's about to fail because he's loyal to it. And anyways, they finally get bought out and leaves him without a job, and he has a mortgage on his house and a car that's not paid for, and he just becomes basically I'm working just to try to pay this off and feed my family. So he ends up getting a job at a hardware store, and that's not giving enough money to make like $10 an hour, and he has a kid and a wife, and his kid ends up getting like her tonsils need to be taken out, or she could have to she'll get really sick. So he's like, what do? My insurance is too high because I'm just not making payments, and my daughter, she could possibly die if I don't figure this out, and it's like $1,100, and he didn't have $1,100 in his name. So he just stressed to the max, and so he decides that what's the point anymore? He said, I have life insurance in my name, so he just runs his car off the road going like 90. Next thing you know, he wakes up and he's like, he's up, like he's interested in this like weird room, and he realizes he's in like a room with Harriet Truman. Is that president? Mm-hmm. And this guy, it's basically what happens is he just goes to like all these like old people in time, and they all give him a lesson on why he's important and why he should. He doesn't need to like, oh, poor pitiful me. Like he needs God and the things that God tells him to do. I'm trying to find this page that has this stuff in it, but I can't. Hold on. Might be a second. Gosh, shit bad. That's what happens when you just pray for you. So it's going to be in. Alright, it's almost here. I remember now.
I'm rooting for you, Michael. You're going to find it.
I know. Hopefully the patient is down. Maybe. Oh, there. Okay, we found it. All right.
I knew you could do it.
So, first, like he goes to 7 different eras, and he meets up with like Harriet Truman. Second, he meets up with King Solomon, and then he goes and he meets up with this guy named like a Colonel Cumberland or something. He's not really like famous, but he was a good man. He was fought in the Civil War, and then he met up with Christopher Columbus and Abraham Lincoln and Anne Frank and whatnot. But anyways, so the first stop he made, the quote that he gave him is, "The buck stops here. I'm responsible for my past and my future." So basically, it's saying all the decisions you make in life, it's you don't need to just be like feel sorry for yourself because you made the decision. Like he decided that he wanted to stay with that job and be loyal to it, and it caused him to be poor and bankrupt and whatnot. So like you don't need to like I don't know, just you need to be responsible. Like know that what your decisions do, and you should just accept them even if they're bad. I will seek wisdom, and I will be a servant to others. I think this one is. Okay, this is one that stuck out to me a lot because I'm just gonna point out Clay. Like, he's probably the best guy I know, honestly. Like, if I was going to like see myself in like,
I'm embarrassed now.
I don't know.
Thank you for the compliment.
I see myself in like 20 years. I know about to see Clay because he's just the best guy and we're really lucky to have him. But it says just seek. I will seek wisdom and I will be a servant to others. It's saying what in the story. It's saying like you need to find people like Clay and just people that are in your life that are good and look at them and be like, know that they're good people. Don't seek wisdom in others that aren't good. Like find good role models that can like let you become who you really need to be. And that's another thing. Once I started going back to church and stuff, that's helped me find just like Bart. He's a good guy. Spending time with your family and hearing what they have to say about life. That's just great. You need to have family time. Best thing. Even if you're going to hang out with them. I'm a person of action. I seize the moment. I choose now. Don't wait up on things. Some of these don't have to do with me, but they're still good to know. I'm a person of action. I seize the moment. I choose now. It's saying don't wait up on things. If you think you should do something, go do it. Go do it. Don't say I've decided to heart my destiny is assured. Once you set your goals on things, for instance, like set your goals, like my goals are just try to miss, like this has been my goal since all this went down, is just try to miss as much church as possible, because like if I want to go sleep in, I don't even get to sleep in anymore, because I work at Wyrick in the morning on Saturdays, get up every morning for school, in church on Sundays. Like, I don't get to sleep in. But one of my things is just go to church every Sunday and Wednesday no matter what, because it's really important and it helps. But this one is, I remember Anne Frank did this one. When she was up in that attic during World War II or World War I?
II.
Yeah, II. She, like, in the thing, it said that she was just happy the whole time, and there were bombs flying, and they were locked up there for a year, and she was happy the whole time. Like, she just didn't let it get down her spirit. And said, this one says, today I will choose to be happy. I'm the possessor of a grateful spirit. And that's, don't just always be happy, and don't be a negative person, because being a negative person affects others around you. Like, if you're gonna be negative all the time, then those people, like, for instance, like little kids, they're gonna look up to that and be like, oh, maybe I should be like that. You know, be happy, be a good person. Everyone likes a happy person. So, I'll greet this day with forgiving spirit. I will forgive myself. Have a bad day. Everyone has bad days, and basically what that's saying is just forgive the bad day. Like, move on from it and know that tomorrow's gonna be better. And then the last one's I will persist for that exception. I'm a person of great faith. I don't really understand that one. Do you have any idea what that means?
Oh, persist without resistance?
Without exception.
Oh, without exception?
Yeah.
Keep going no matter what. No matter what obstacles are in front of you, keep going.
Yeah. That one. And then I also found this verse one night when I was laying in bed. I needed one. My stomach hurt. That was the worst part of it all. When I just like just the stress of it all, stomach, because like my stomach hurt bad. I'm surprised I even got through that whole thing. It says, cast off. This is a verse from 1 Peter 5:7. It says, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. And that's right there. That's it. It's just a few words, but that's it. If you have God, it doesn't matter how stressed you are. It doesn't matter if you have a million things to do that day. You know you aren't going to finish. If you have God, it doesn't matter. He's going to be there. So, what I'm trying to say to you is, this is my main thing. Don't let earthly things and like just things that aren't going to be. They won't matter in the big picture. Don't let those determine how you live at all. And don't make those your priority. Make God your priority. Let those become second. And then if they aren't meant to be, then God will take them out if He's first. But if He's not first, you're not going to be okay eventually. So that's it.
Yeah, man.
This book, I like really how it's just went over. Really good.
All right, now we're going to encourage Michael. So you guys just volunteer, go. If something stood out to you, maybe you connected with. I like, Michael, how you talked about your stress, but you didn't like jump into a lot of detail about all the factors that were part of it. Because in my mind, I started thinking about factors that lead me to a stressful place. And I'm sure everybody else did too. So it allowed us to kind of connect with you on that level. So yeah, everybody has. And it's alone, like you feel so alone in it, but literally everybody has something that stresses them out. Sorry, Michaela.
No, you're good.
All right, go ahead.
I'll start. Honestly, like in 8th grade and stuff, used to get on my nerves. But like, that's not like just because you're loud. But I've gotten to know you more the past little bit, and I think it's really cool of you to come up here and share, not only like in detail what you said, but just to give a lesson and like explain things a lot better.
Haley.
Okay. It's just like I can like relate to you how you said like you got distant with God and it like made your stress like worse and stuff. And it was just like I was in a moment in my life whenever I was distant with God and I got stressed. So it was just like I can relate to it, and you know that makes you good and it makes you strong.
I personally don't know you, but when I gave my testimony last week, I went with all these kids to church camp, but I didn't like go to school with them, and I look up to you and see that you aren't afraid to tell everyone, people that you know, go to school with, that you got distant from God, and I don't know how to word that, but it just makes me happy that you can stand in front of people that you know and you're not afraid to tell them what's going on in your life.
Yeah, that's another thing. You have to be yourself, because Will he can be like he can tell you the same thing. I've been a different person. When all that went on, I was just different. And now, like, I don't know if any of y'all noticed, y'all might have, but I'm just like kind of like the old me a little bit. I don't know if you all noticed that, but I'm more happy, and I'm just high on life. Like, I have freaking college midterm tomorrow, algebra. I'm worried about it, but I'm not worried about it. And if it would have been a month ago, I probably would be dead right now. So like, I'd just be laying on the ground, just out of the faint. But I'm fine now. I just know that if I make a bad grade, then I make a bad grade, but at least I tried. So it's kind of one thing. I mean, still work hard at school and stuff. God's not gonna give you A's. But
I don't care anymore, Michael. I don't care anymore, dude.
The real lesson is don't take algebra 1 and 8.
yeah, no. Anyway, that's besides the point. Just say your.
That was a mistake.
I was smart and I want to coach Cherry over Rick. So I took pre-algebra.
No. What I was gonna say is be yourself. Don't change, even if things get bad. Dude, that's another thing. Be yourself.
I really admire that I don't know, your story and how you are like talking about the midterm. I got the midterm tomorrow too, and I'm a little nervous for it. But just like giving your worries to God is very encouraging, I think. It's something good to remind us. Like, I'm really glad you brought that here in this lesson, and to remind us about giving your worries to God. And I'm just very proud of you for coming and sharing, because I don't know, for me, if I was coming, like, I don't know, I've been at times where I've been very distant with God, and it's hard for me to share with, like, my close friends. So I'm really proud of you for coming and sharing with all of us, and for sharing the lesson.
Definitely better that I know my friends, but I felt as soon as he said that the opening was like open road, I felt like I should share it, because it's really it's crazy. Like, I've never when you're the lowest is when you feel God the most, because he's tugging, wanting to pull you back into what you should be. And I actually have never felt it as much as I had like the last few months. So just don't drift away. No matter what things are. Don't go to church. Don't go to church because you have to go to church. Go to church because you want to go to church.
Anybody else have something they want to say to Michael?
Michael, I want to say, I have to say something every time y'all do this, just because it takes a lot of courage to do
Yeah.
this. I was super busy tonight, like you said. You said so many things tonight that even for me as an adult that just touched me, that I want to read that book. Your commitment to Wednesday and Sunday night, sometimes I'm like that. I work and I get up and work out on Saturdays, and so I don't want to get up and go to church on Sundays if I want to sleep in. I mean, just there's so many things that you said tonight that even me as an adult I can relate to. I know all the kids here too. So I appreciate and I feel like if you ever felt led, I was just thinking I wish so many more kids could hear what you said tonight, because it is the part about spending time with your family. That's great. Family time is awesome. Your parents will love that. You know, like that. All those things you said that would took you away, and then these are the things that bring me back in. I mean, it sounds so simple, but it speaks volumes. And so, get on Insta or whatever you're doing, and do a couple of those. I mean, I call them little nuggets of wisdom. You had a lot of little nuggets in here. But profound. So, anyway, I just want to encourage you to, when you feel led to share, because you have a lot to do. God brings good from those trials.
Anybody else? Guys have been silent. He's never talking the whole time. Y'all could.
Good job,
Chime in.
Michael. Good boy. Proud of you, bro.
That was enlightening, Andrew.
I'm really proud of him, bro.
Anybody else? I don't want to close it off. Someone else has something to say. All right. Michael, I will say something, obviously, as I always do. But I like how, and a lot of them kind of alluded to this, but how you never really have to wonder where you're at. You're just kind of honest. Like, I remember even a couple of years ago, whenever you were first coming and we'd have our small groups and stuff, you would just say, I mean, I've been struggling with how I talk lately. You know, like I mean, I feel like I can't ever pray, or I open my Bible and I just don't even read it anymore. Like you just always say exactly where you're at,
That's
and
the most accurate Michael statement ever.
well, like a lot of people want to admit that they're not in a good place with God,
Yeah.
and a lot of us have gone through those seasons, like even daily, and to have someone that's just so open and honest about, like, man, I'm not in a good place right now. I really need some help to try to get there. Like that is. It takes a lot of courage to admit that, for one, and you're always open to do that. So I appreciate your heart in that. So anyway, in his story, I was thinking on this. I think everyone can relate to it, obviously, just on the stress level of it. But there's something, we want to control everything, and I think that's kind of being made in the image of God. It's kind of like, you know, we want to be God. We want to be in control of everything. And that's the root of our sin, is our selfishness and our desire to live for ourselves, even when we think we're not. We think we're doing all the right things, and we're going to church, we're checking these things off, but really, there's just all these little ways that we try to control things, and when something comes that changes up our sense of control, we freak out, and we stress, and we lose it because we realize that we don't have it all together. And a lot of times, we run from God, just like Michael was saying, in those times when those are the times when he, like, we already understand we're out of control. We need to turn to the only one who is in control, really. So, Michael, I appreciate everything you shared tonight, the nuggets of wisdom, like Rachel was saying. There's so much in there that we could all kind of just, you know, probably sit and take every little sentence you read out of that page in that book and really work on those things, just giving it up to God. You guys have a test tomorrow. Just go in there with that perspective. You know, the worst thing that can happen, no matter what, God still got you. And you can apply that to literally everything. Test at school, job, relationship problems, anything. God's got you no matter what happens. The worst thing that can happen is He's still got you. So if we have that perspective about it, it changes everything. Any questions, any comments? Mary, you weren't here earlier. Next week, you were lined up to speak, but since they changed the school schedule, they're going to have a countywide youth rally at the football field because parent-teacher conference is that day. So if you don't mind, we'll move you to the next week. So 2 weeks from tonight will be your turn. Okay, that gives you a little more time to prepare. Everyone come to the youth rally next week. It's always cool when all the churches come together and hang out. So I'm excited for that.
And this Saturday, there's like a thing at Colgate.
Yes, yeah. And there's like a lot of things, a lot of moving parts for Saturday.
Block party.
There's a block party
at Colgate for
yeah.
missions. Is it like
block
2?
party at Colgate, 4:30.
4:30.
Starts at 4:30. If you show up at 2, you won't be late. You'll be an hour and a half early. 2.5 hours early. Bad at math. You'll be way early. So 4:30 is going to kick off at Colgate First Baptist. Jim Lewis is now the lead pastor at First Baptist. He was the youth pastor at Southside. So everyone knows Jim. Go to school with Jim's kids. So come hang out. Oh Yeah Missions is sponsoring it. Choctaw Nation Youth Advisory Board is sponsoring it. Obviously Coca-Cola Baptist Association is. So there's a lot of people involved. It's going to be a fun time. There's going to be a live band there from Lane. I don't know, something about Thunder. Can't remember what it's called. But the Thunder's coming. We bring it the Thunder. Justin McGuire, he graduated a few years ago. He has started a band at Lane. And they're going to play for us a few songs. There's some other people that are going to sing. So it's going to be a fun time. Anyone want to pray before we're dismissed? You guys can hang out, enjoy the weather.
Can I make an announcement?
Yeah.
Alright. So, I've been thinking this week, God's kind of laid on my heart that there are a bunch of people in our school, I'm sure y'all know because y'all like see them every day, they don't have a lot of clothes and they kind of wear the same thing every day, and I've seen people being made fun of for it, and it breaks my heart, like, genuinely I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted there to be something to do about it, but going to them is kind of awkward, I feel like. Y'all all know that you can't just give somebody some clothes because it makes them more insecure. So I got with my mom, and I think we're going to do like a closet in the school, like we have extra rooms, and we're just going to set up some racks and hang up some clothes so they can go in and out, and it'll be private. So keep it private. If y'all can, don't go and tell like everybody, just so the kids can feel more like good about doing it.
It's a great idea.
I'm going to need some donations, and so if y'all can go through your closets at home, and if there's anything that you don't wear anymore or you want to donate, that would be great.
Sounds awesome.
Rags, I'm going to go to Walmart and see if they have any after this. But rags.
Do you want us to?
Shoes, yeah, shoes too, because there's lots of, I mean, there's just a need for it, I think. Especially with winter coming, kids need some stuff.
Yeah.
Blankets.
I don't know what room y'all are, Have y'all talked
I
to?
think, yeah, I talked to Miss Perkins today.
Okay.
We're gonna use the Mr. Kaufman's old room.
Okay,
So
that'll be good.
yeah.
So yeah, get it to Miss Perkins, and even if you want to find me before school, I have a room, the food bank at the elementary. We're hosting it in that little break room that's between Mr. Swift's room and mine in the hall, so we can like store stuff there
Okay.
as we take it to fold and hang up or whatever.
That's great.
So,
That's awesome.
all right, anybody want to pray? Awesome. Good job, Andy. Thanks for organizing that.
Still left out. Sorry.
You did it, Katie. You want to pray? Okay. Wait, you want to pray? Wait, Hunter, you can pray.
What?
You want to pray?
Did I just get voluntold again?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm scared. Dear God, thanks for the great weather today. Thanks for the pizza. Thanks for everyone coming around. Thanks for Michael sharing about everything. And amen.
Amen.
Yeah,
Thanks, Bobby.
Yeah, it's like my whole shit.
If there's extra